I feel like a tryhard. I got the camera in my hand and the models are waiting outside. I have an amazing offer. How can they say no? It's May 2023. It's reaching summertime, but before that, it's deadline season at uni. I wasn't paying attention to deadlines. I wanted something more. In my city where I'm studying, I'm in a new clothing store that just opened up. My confidence did not exist when it comes to my creative work. Why I'm inside a clothing store with a camera in my hand and the models waiting outside is because I want to improve my confidence as well as my portfolio. For a creative student, a portfolio is how you show and present your work, your art. I was relying on uni. I only did creative things in lesson. This approach was limited and that reflected in the work I had to show, as well as my confidence and how proud I am towards my work. Now I have the mindset that creating, also known as learning, is not just for lesson. In fact, it's all the time. When I speak to students and other people, I realize the thing that separates me from them and the reason why they're not even competition. Yes, we may be in the same field. Yes, we may want the same goal in the film industry, to the simple fact that they think learning is only during lesson. Learning stops once you graduate. If you have that limiting mindset that you can only be creative, you can only do work for a deadline because daddy says it for you, this is where people like me will run a train on you for the next 10 to 20 years on the simple fact that we believe learning starts at graduation. It doesn't stop. Learning doesn't stop once you get that piece of paper. Learning is all the time. If you don't apply this mindset that learning is for life, then me, as well as the other iPad babies, are going to take your job. So I study filmmaking at uni. And when you get to your final year, your graduation year, the big project at the end of it is this big final film, like a 10-minute short film. I would help out on a few of those projects. Not only was it lovely to help out other students, for me it was a way to see the whole filming process. I would help out by being a runner. A runner on a film set is basically the person who helps out with anything and everything, getting coffee, carrying equipment, and I spent a day outside holding an umbrella for the actress so she doesn't get wet. Next to the film class, we have the fashion department. In some people's graduation pieces, I would help out. When you study fashion for your final project, you can make clothing for a photo shoot, a magazine, or a film. With these projects, instead of being a runner, my job was to bring their vision to life with the film. Another thing that I would do to be more creative is to share my process all the time. What that looks like is that I make Instagram vlogs about my days. So today, you know those vintage shops that always come out of nowhere? I went up to them and asked them if I can make videos for them for their social media for free. So then I could take that free video to another store and then that's where I can ask them for money. I came to them as a surprise. I didn't message them before. I offered them my service on the spot. I have the camera, models, and my sweaty palms ready. They were pretty chill about it. They thought, oh, it's free? Oh, why not? So we went upstairs to the shop and we started shooting. I had 2 models with me. I was only meant to have 1, but this guy, my friend Imzi, who I met on a student project a couple months ago, Imzi brought his friend Theo. So at this point, we're basically winging it, freestyling. We're not sure exactly what we're doing. And we're quite surprised that someone actually said yes. Before this one, we were rejected by 7 stores. I'm glad Imzi brought his friend because they had chemistry, like, on the shoot. This helped so much in the space we had, the little space we had with the clothing rack around us. We're trying to record, avoiding the customers at the same time. And it was kind of like a dance between everyone with my camera movement. I wasn't even thinking, everything was new to me. Imzi had experience working on adverts like Puma, JD, and Fiverr. An experienced model who brought his friend who didn't have any model experience. While I was recording, Imzi was coaching Theo. It was very direct, but it was enthusiastic. Imzi was telling Theo, do this, do that, like this, hold it like this, more emotion. And from that alone, I was shocked. I was trying to hold it together, trying to get the steady shot. I was impressed with how Imzi was encouraging his friend. Imzi was another student that I met on a student project. If I didn't say yes to that student project 2 months ago, then today, I wouldn't have met Imzi. The shoot is going well, and as they change into their second outfit, I realize these busy students are doing this for free. I wanted to respect their time, so I made the shoot as easy as possible for them. All they had to do is show up and do what they're best at, modeling. I didn't want the experience for them to be confused about timing, what they have to do, where. And the fact that I called Imzi the night before, last minute, at 12 a.m. Not only did he want to, but his excitement carried over to me. And I made the thing. I'm asking him, how can this random shoot I organized make someone so enthusiastic? We finished the video and exit the shop. And then we decide to go to the next shop to ask them again if they want a free video. In those 2 hours, we filmed in 2 clothes shops and 1 shoe shop. We had a lot of content for everyone. A piece of gold for the shops, for the models, and myself. I like to appreciate moments like this where I make something from nothing. I didn't have to do this, especially during exam season. I had the limiting belief that I can only do work for school projects, but I chose to create in high pressure. And my aim is to create for a long time, even through pressure. In my life, pressure has been a distraction. Pressure of, what will my parents think of me? What are the people in my class doing? Is this 9-to-5 office really it for me? I never took the time to focus on myself, never asking, what do I want? I saw myself as a people pleaser, so I didn't put myself out there. I didn't want to stick out and be cringe. Where I'm from, there's a saying called beg. When someone is being a beg, that's when you avoid sitting in front of the class in case you are seen as a beg. That's when you don't post your art on Instagram because you feel like you're trying too hard. The fear of looking stupid is why you're not where you want to be. And that in itself is stupid. Not only does it stop you from sharing your work online, it stops you from creating altogether. You're too busy thinking about what this person's thinking, what your ex will think. Oh, but my uni lecturer doesn't think my work is good. Inside of you, there is something that you want to make. There is a message for you to get out there, but you don't know if it's good enough. How will the people in your class react? What will your friends think? You know, the friends that bully you? You questioning if your work is good enough so you don't post it, that is why your work is not good, because you're not posting it. Or you do know what you want to share, what you want to build, what you want to create, but now the idea is in your head and it keeps getting more complicated with extra details and it's confusing to the point now where it's such a big idea in your head that you don't even know where to begin. 3 months ago, I ignored the doubts I had, the fear of being cringe. I put it all to the side. On campus, I gave away flyers and I put up posters. On the posters, I was offering students help with any video work. On one of those student projects that I was helping on, Imzi, the model from earlier in the clothing store, also applied to the fashion project as an actor. And that's how I met him. As I was printing out these posters, cutting them out very nicely, I had doubts running through my mind. Oh, no one's gonna reply. I'm gonna seem like a tryhard. The uni's just gonna take it down. The uni did take it down. But from those posters, I managed to get 2 projects and 7 people who kind of knew what they wanted, but they kind of didn't. The 2 projects I chose to work on had strong vision. They clearly showed me where I play a role in that vision. Now that I've finished these projects, the people are thanking me for helping them on their graduation work. And to step back and think that I was gonna let these doubts stop me from putting myself out there, from doing the thing that I love. The fear of looking stupid was gonna stop me from making films, all because I was scared of rejection. In the 2-hour shoot that I had with Imzi and Theo, I got rejected 10 times from 10 different shops, just so I could get 3 yeses. These projects that I'm working on, they're all videos for social media. The rejection, the failures, the no's. That's what you don't see on social media. The hours and hours of editing. The carefully selected footage that I use of Imzi and Theo smiling. That is what you see. The flame emojis that you get and the flame emojis that I got under that video of that post, they will never see the ongoing no's and rejection to do my creative work, to get my work out there. You can say no to social media. You can say no by deleting the app, but you deleted and re-downloaded the app 12 times already this year. So instead, don't delete the app, but consume in a way that helps with your goal. You can say no to content that doesn't make you feel good. In the summer, I took an online mental health course. It's free, it's by Yale, and it's called The Science of Well-Being. A big thing that I learned from that course is social comparison affects us more than we realize. Like, we know that keeping up with the Joneses, we know that knowing what the next man is doing on social media, we know that these things are bad for us, but we don't realize how deep that goes. I make rap music, and so does the guy that I work with in the coffee shop. So when I would be on shift with my rapper colleague, I would be taking the coffee order, and then he would come on shift, he would put on his cute green Starbucks apron, and before he would say anything else, he would tell me the number of how many times people have listened to my song on Spotify. Not his music, he wasn't telling me how many streams he got. He was telling me, updating me about mine. I'm at the point in my creative work where I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm creating stuff that I enjoy without the expectation of likes, views, streams. But later on in the shift, I ask him if he has been making any more music, if he's writing. He tells me that he's not been writing anything because he's not had the inspiration. This is his thing. This is all he talks about. I wanted to stay quiet, but I didn't feel like staying quiet would have helped him. So I pointed out to him that he hasn't been making music for a while, the thing he loves. And then I ask if him looking at my numbers was helping him in his creative process. That focusing on my stuff, my numbers, is not gonna help him make more music. He tells me that what he's doing is okay because he's researching. Researching is not making music. The thing he wants to do. Why it hurts is that I see a bit of myself in him. When I'm watching 10 self-improvement videos in a row and I say that I'm researching, when you're watching, when you're thinking about what the next person is doing, that is time and energy that you're not using for your own work. When we procrastinate, we justify it to ourselves because we're researching. We're resting, we're recharging. But what if that content you're watching makes you question your life 10 times a day? You watch a YouTube short and those 30 seconds has you questioning your entire childhood. It makes you question your whole relationship and how you see women. The content with every scroll gives you new desires, new goals, new dream bodies, more books to read. We watch so many tips and tricks that it actually leaves us more confused than before. This YouTuber has very good life advice, and I would know because he says it very well. But this Instagram quote It's also very valid. But now these two advices cancel each other out because they both say the same things, but differently. Are scrolling, are these inputs helpful? The things I'm watching, the things that I put in my body, do they help me with my dream? What even is my dream? What's the thing that I want from life? You have big goals, but you're scared to do them because of other people. What will my parents think? What if I fail in front of my friends? When you want to do something, let's do it. Let's go. Regardless of deadline season or if you have a school project. Before, I was too scared to share my work online, caring about what others think of me. And that's stupid because as a creative, if my work is not online, then it doesn't exist. I'm an introvert, but I'm glad I didn't let that be an excuse to put myself out there. Instead, I realized that I was going to be rejected by people anyways. In life, I'm rejected by social circles, job employers, and aunties' opinions. So I may as well get rejected while I'm doing something that I care about. This means getting rejected by actors, shop owners, and online views so that I can create film. That was a fun season working on fashion projects, final year films, and Instagram videos for clothing shops. Getting to meet new people through something that I care about. Even though now that I'm working in solo mode right now, I am in lone wolf mode, I appreciate the skill and time that it takes of me to expand and then retract different seasons of meeting and working with people to getting things done by myself in my bedroom. I'm just a YouTube video. I don't know where you are in your life, but if you made it this far in the video, I'm certain that what I'm about to say next is gonna save you years of your life. You care too much because you don't have your thing, your life mission, your purpose. You care too much to the point that it's blinded. You get angry, you get too emotional to the point that you can't even think straight. When you get pissed off, your girlfriend respects you less and less. Once you find your thing, the opinions of others and anything else that doesn't help with your thing, you're not gonna care about it. You're not gonna even let it control you emotionally because it doesn't help you with your life purpose. But Teddy, I do have my thing. I make music sometimes and I study arts at uni. I have my thing. If you're putting your eggs into university, your expectations, as in once you get to graduation, your life will be sorted. At the end, when you do get that piece of paper at graduation, you're gonna feel so empty because you thought that uni was gonna save you. What these lecturers said was gonna save your life. Bear in mind, these lecturers don't even have the life you want. Nowhere near it. It's not yes or no if I found my thing. It's how far, how deep, how much effort and attention are you putting in that thing? Are you making music once a month when inspiration hits? Or are you doing your thing every day? During that job you hate, in the breaks, are you meditating? Are you writing? Even though it's just 10 minutes, you can still do your thing during that time. But we often use work, school, as an excuse not to do that thing. Or what's even worse is when you study your passion at university, because that gives you a false sense of reality. You think that being at university to study your thing is productive. You think following the life advice of a broke lecturer is gonna save you. With the world we're growing up in, we have so much opinions. Everywhere we scroll, every YouTube video is an opinion. Every Instagram post, every quote, opinions, advice. And we have to detach ourselves from these external stuff as people pleasers, as people who care too much about what others think about them. This is more important for us because we really feel others' energies. For example, there are many ways to become fit, healthy, jacked. So now you're getting advice from this Instagram quote, and then another YouTube reel tells you to do it this way. These advice want the same things. Both of these advice have the same goal of getting jacked, making money, but they both contradict each other, meaning we're left more confused than before we started. That's not even including the advice from your parents, your uncles, the people around you, your friends. And here is a quick guide that I learned from Millionaire Fastlane that tells us which advice we should actually take on. Without you even doing anything, without you even searching for advice, people are already quick to give you advice. So when you want to learn something, how to become a millionaire, all the information that you need is already out there. But the key is actually not searching, but elimination, turning deaf to bad advice and only using the good bits, which is only 1% of advice that you're going to hear. So learning isn't even about searching for information. Learning is now realizing and identifying who not to learn from, because you don't want that person's life. So the guy who made this book, MJ DeMarco, tells us this story. He was at a party, and in that party, there was this one guy who was going from table to table, asking people who wanted to make $10,000 per month. Once that guy got to MJ's table, MJ listened. That guy who was asking people who wants to make $10,000, later on, he finds out that MJ was making millions. 10K would have been a slight pay cut. Even though MJ could have easily just told the guy to go away, I was already making millions, he listened because listening is what got him the millions in the first place. The thing that's going to save you years of frustration in your life, be careful of advice. Be careful of the advice given to you. It may be in good heart, but it could take away years of your life. The advice you get from the people in your life, online influencers, a YouTube video. Be careful of me, bro. When you hear advice, ask yourself, does this advice apply to my situation? Does the person even know my goal or where I am in life? Is the person even qualified? Have they even done the thing? Really ask yourself this with your uni lecturers. Do they have the Lambo or the mansion or the film career that you want? In my business journey so far, I've learned that there are two kinds of entrepreneurs. Number one, advice givers. They give advice, but they don't know your situation or your goal. They give advice that they don't do, or they give advice that they do, but they don't do well because the results are crap. These are the people who think about buying a course, who thinks about starting a business. They have taken zero action, and yet they have so much knowledge to give you. The second type of entrepreneur, listeners. Like MJ in the story, you don't have to take bad advice, but you can still listen, because listening is what got him the millions in the first place. So now that you're aware of the distractions that is advice, because you've stopped caring about other people and their opinions that don't even help with your life, you're now able to create a life based around your main thing, the thing you have been put on this earth to do. Because you prioritize the thing you love, that's also how you meet new people. You meet other people who are also putting themselves out there and creating the same stuff you like. So now, putting your work out there for the world to see is no longer scary. So now, when you make art, it feels fun and natural. It's just a bonus that it doesn't even feel like work anymore. Love.